Internet? What's up, YouTube? It's the first show for the Rogue Entertainment crowd. We got Final Death Star in the house rolling in as we're, just starting out. Perfect timing. We got Sporking news podcasts in the house. What's up, Scott? How's it going, man?
It's going great. Going great.
Good. You look good.
Thanks.
Scott is a big clapper.
I got the clap.
Star now. You got the clap now? Yeah,
huge clapper star. Who needs TikTok when you're huge on clapper? You know what I mean?
And we got Jane Theory in the house. What's up, Jane?
Hey guys. Everything's going great. Just enjoying the first of the new year.
Yes.
It's the first of the month.
The second of the new year, technically.
Well, technically.
Oh, shut up.
Time's already flying. We're almost through this year.
Final. It's the first show.
Actually, some of our viewers, it may be the third.
That's true. It might be.
Shut up, Scott. Final, how are you doing?
Okay.
I'm doing well. Doing very well.
Good. And we got Makini in the house. What's going on, Makini?
I am doing great. It's awesome to get to be on a Nina Infinity stream for the first time. And it is the first Saturday of 2021. Welcome, everyone.
How dare you, Scott? How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you? So we know after this show, there's this thing called The Dump. You guys can catch that after this. It's on this dude's channel right here. This guy.
Very important. Yep.
There you go.
I'm over.
Yeah, I got to figure out my camera.
What's that, buddy?
No, Nina was pointing at her wall.
Yeah, because my camera used to be here, so I had to go like this.
Oh,
right,
yeah,
right.
Now it's
now you
here.
got that side angle.
Yeah.
Truthfully, the show I run Final is as good as a wall. So.
Okay. If anyone wants to plug something, please go ahead. Jane, do you want to plug something?
Just my channel. You can find me here on YouTube where I post movie and television reviews and pop culture commentary. If you enjoy Game of Thrones, you can catch me discussing Winds of Winter and A Song of Ice and Fire on Mondays at 6 Central on Sporking News Podcast. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram and Parler at Jane Theory.
Thank you, Jane.
She's black, so she doesn't have to denounce white supremacy.
No, I don't.
She probably should.
Also, Jane's going to be on my channel tomorrow night, and we're going to be discussing The Expanse. That'll be so much fun. Please join us tomorrow at 7.
Great show.
Yeah,
and I did just post a recap of seasons 1 through 4 and a summary of episodes 1 through 3. So catch up and then catch us tomorrow.
Yes, please do that. Sporking, did you want to plug anything else? I already plugged your show, but your clap.
Yeah, no, you plugged The Dump, and then I think Jane said about our Monday stream, and I want everybody out there to start pushing Fatal J to stream with me once a week for the Fatal Spork.
Fatal Spork.
Yeah, I want to replace my Wednesday show with just me and Fatal J talking crap.
Well, you have
each other.
You have a Dark Council member in the chat. Maybe he can.
Yeah, he don't like it that much. So.
We do.
Yeah, drunk 3PO. He says mean things about me.
Oh my god, he just totally interviewed Gina Carano.
We have a celebrity in the chat.
Oh my god.
Where?
I'd like to plug Drunk 3PO's channel.
There you go. Actually, I do. I do want to plug Drunk 3PO's channel, but not Drunk 3PO's channel. Jay Walking the Planet channel.
Oh yeah,
that's an awesome channel.
Absolutely,
great channel. Everybody go subscribe to that, please. If one of my mods could put that link in the chat. Thank you, Makini. And after you do that, you can introduce yourself to the good people of the internet. And then after Final does his, we'll say hi to the chat, because there's more people there than just a celebrity drunk 3PO.
All right, 1 second.
Okay,
Yeah,
maybe
take your time. It's not live.
final. Maybe you should go first. Okay, you go first. Final.
Plugging. I would say hair plugs, but I have enough hair. Scott, Scott needs. There you go.
Look how
plugs
shiny it is.
Scott. Yeah, it is extra shiny today.
So
Using
shiny.
that turtle wax.
Yeah.
I know. I did it up for Nina's show.
It's like a mirror.
I did use
So
shea butter.
happy.
I did use shea butter.
Wow,
I'm gonna
you
try
know-
it, you know?
You kind of look like Mr. Clean if you shave the face.
Not Mr. Clean. I've always been a chubby Mr. Clean.
A chubby
Oh
Mr.
my
Clean. No, you
God.
feel like Mr. Clean. Come on, you got the muscle under there.
Mr. Chubb, Mr. Chubb.
Somebody please meme that, please.
Uh,
God, I wish
They already
back.
have. They already did.
Where's
did
that?
they?
They did?
Yeah, I have one from a long time ago of me as Mr. Clean.
Mr. Clean, really? Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah, I'll find it. I'll put it in the Rogue chat.
Okay.
Please do.
Sporky
And,
Mr. Clean. Mr.
uh,
Spork.
final, you also have a new weirdo channel where you discuss.
Yeah, my new weirdo channel. You
Wow.
can find me at
Yeah.
New Weirdo YouTube. No, it's called Enter the Unfamiliar, which is now the channel name too. So you can I think you can still type Final Death Star if you're used to that, and it pops up as Enter the Unfamiliar. But yeah, dealing with more paranormal stuff, UFO phenomenon. Do biblical prophecy, hidden histories of the world, strange mysteries. We do our live show on Sundays at 7:00 Pacific Standard Time, although there will not be one tomorrow. I'm taking a week off as it is my birthday tomorrow. So I'm going to take the day off there and not do a show tomorrow. So we'll be back next Sunday with Flipped Out of the Phantom Collective. And we do a weekly topic or a series. We just did 2 weeks on the Yeti, and we're going to what do you say? Parlay? Is that the right word? Parlay that into the Bigfoot. So, yeah.
That's cool. And
Yeah,
also,
pretty good.
happy early birthday, Final.
Thank
Happy
you.
birthday.
Thank you.
Are you doing anything special?
I don't know. Last year was the big one. I hit 40. So my wife threw me a huge surprise birthday party with like
Aw.
friends and family from out of state. It was great. And it was like the middle of January, because it was like a week or so after my birthday, and it was right before pretty much the lockdown. So it was like the last time everyone got to get together, before we got shut down for a year. So I don't know. There's not, it's kind of tough in California to do anything. So I think I'm sure we'll do something, but probably kind of low key, which is fine with me. We had a big one last year, so
Wow.
yeah.
Well, I hope you enjoy it, and it's fantastic. Whatever you guys
Thank
choose
you
to do.
very, very much. I appreciate that, guys.
Makini, are you done working as a mod? Would you like to plug your channel?
Absolutely, yes. So this year, I'm making an end of year resolution to I want to be where Jane Theory, Scott, and Nina is, and be at 1K before December 31st of this year. So I'm going to be pumping out more art content at practically 4, maybe 5 times a week, because I want to really get some stuff out and really want to just. Yeah, I'm gonna keep myself busy. I'm just gonna be as productive as ever. So, especially as I was last year. I got where Makini Live is coming back in full form tomorrow with our guest Etep Wakuyan, the place to be reviews, and hopefully 24/7 Mia, as I do a little drawing of Javicia Leslie's Batwoman for the celebration of season 2.
Nice. That's amazing, Makini. I hope you achieve your resolution.
Thank
And
you.
we're joined by Script Doctor. What's up, Script?
What's up, Script?
What's up?
Hey,
I had
Script.
to be here. I had to be here for a fellow Canadian hosting the Rogue Entertainment today.
Thank you so much. I love you, man.
Aww.
Yeah. So, how is it going, everybody? I hope everyone has recovered properly from celebrating the New Year's indoors alone and whatnot.
But that sounds so, it's like, I hope you recovered from your depression of celebrating alone.
Well, I was outdoors. I went to a friend's house, and we
Gosh, you can be arrested for that,
celebrated-
Nina.
Yeah, I know. It's not crazy.
You're in America,
I'm
man. I guess you're safe
I'm
there.
such a rebel. I'm such a rebel. I went to my friend's house. So I was indoors, but also outdoors because it wasn't in my house. I was in my friend's house. So Yeah.
Well, Script, let me ask you something. Did you see the viral video going around about that family in Canada? It was a party of 6 people, and they're getting, I guess their neighbors called the cops on them, and their cops are busting in and dragging them out and arresting them. And it was all
Yeah, it's horrible because one of those cops isn't wearing a mask.
No, I don't. Yeah,
the other cop is.
I don't think any of them really are. They're wearing chin.
Yeah, it seemed like there were more that were not. Yeah.
I mean,
I saw that on Clapper.
Where in Canada was it?
It was a First Nations named town. I think it was in Ontario, but it could have been somewhere else. It was definitely a northern sounding town. And it's really frightening because you don't really. It's very non-typical for cops to walk into a person's home and drag them out when they've literally committed no real crime.
That's unheard of in Canada.
Yeah, that is like, where are we? Like, I mean, you just don't believe it. It's too hard, difficult. I mean, like, what was it? A little bit less than a year ago, there was that poor young girl dressed as a stormtrooper who was arrested by Alberta cops who really did not know what they were doing.
Yep.
So we're seeing some weird things there because they were really struggling to try and get that guy out of his home, and I guess his friends and family members were trying to hold him back. And
they call that resisting here in the United States.
Well, the thing is that I don't know if they announced a legitimate charge or anything like that nature, but usually there's no like in Canada, cops really do try to avoid physical interactions with people anyways. Yeah.
Also, if it was on a reservation, they have to have like actual native cops go there because the police is not allowed to go there.
Yeah, that's considered sovereign land. So only with permission from the people there can non-First Nations police go into.
Don't they carry candy canes instead of like guns?
No, those are tasers. They look like candy canes, but they're tasers.
Oh, okay. All right.
For a while,
striped, actually, like red and white striped, or
well, black and white.
Black and white.
For a while, you had to be a certain rank to be authorized with a taser, but there was a tragic incident on a streetcar in Toronto where a very unstable teenager on a lot of drugs had a knife and ran after a cop who was on the streetcar, and the cop shot him. And then when he was down, the cop unloaded again, and he shouldn't have, and he was charged with second-degree murder.
Ooh.
And he got convicted for that. But the reason he shot him is he was trying to keep him at bay and waiting for a lieutenant who had the taser to come and tase the guy. So I think as a result of that, now all cops are allowed to be issued a taser to subdue, so that they don't have to actually go with lethal force in those situations. Because a lot of cops in Canada really do not want to kill a person.
That's true.
They always talk, like, I know many of them, they always talk about how terrifying it is to have to draw their gun. I know a few that have knocked on doors for a domestic and have opened them to find a person with like a samurai sword pointed at them, and they're like, you know what, I'm just going to stand out of reach of that and talk this guy down, as opposed to draw a gun and try and shoot him. Like, that's usually the attitude from my understanding. I'm sure it's different in various other parts throughout Canada. And especially within the RCMP, like those guys are tough.
Wow.
Has anyone reported having the door opened with a samurai sword and having the words "There can be only one" repeated?
I would not be surprised, man. Dude, there are some places throughout Canada where that is probably like the go-to response for some.
For sure.
If you go up like north towards like the Hudson Bay area, where like there's not a whole lot around and people are just huffing gas and doing drugs and chopping things up with a samurai sword they got off Amazon. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a couple of cops out there that are like, oh, it's Thursday, I got to go down to Ted's house and tell him that he's not a Highlander.
Oh my gosh. Well, Script Doctor, thank you for informing us about all this crazy shit going on in Canada. Would you like to plug your channel before we move on to the author Stephen Walton, who has graced us with this present?
Sure. I got a channel. It's fun. It's not about the number of subscribers. It's about the people who like to watch and if they get something out of it. So if you feel like subscribing,
that is sweet. I'm the
if
exact
you feel like
opposite.
subscribing, that's awesome. But otherwise, yeah, I'm just having some fun. YouTube.com/ScriptDoctor. I'm working on some real world stuff right now. So my videos are going to be a little delayed. And I apologize for that. But this is the stuff that gets me paid. So I gotta do that, unfortunately.
Definitely. I understand.
Can
Well,
I just say real quick, cooking with Ruthie. I haven't seen you in so long. How are you?
Yes.
Yes.
Wow,
Oh,
Ruthie.
in
Hello.
the house, you guys. I want to get to the chat, but before we do, author Stephen Watton, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Sorry I'm late. I just got in the door. Hail to everybody in the chat. Why don't you go ahead and talk to them?
Okay. I'm going to say hello to the chat, and then we'll come back to you, and you can plug your channel. Is that good? Is that good?
No, go ahead. Talk to the chat. They're here. We're here for them.
We're here for Cooking with Ruthie, who is awesome, and she's on the Queen's Council. She's going to be making an appearance soon, I bet. She keeps saying she is. So one of these days. We got Jessie Monkman in the house. Hello, Jessie.
An appearance on Rogue Entertainment? She's going to come on?
No, on the Queen's Council, because she's part of the
okay.
Queen's Council, and she will be joining us at some point. Tombstone's in the house. Hello, Tombstone, and Happy New Year to all of you. If I haven't seen you here before, Shane G. Hi, hello. I saw somebody that I know in here as well. Her name is Jane Theory. Say it.
Hey guys.
Oh, we got Makini, of course. Brutal Morningwood, hello. Thank you for being here. Echo Mason, thank you for being here. Runner, how's it going, Runner?
Shut up, Runner. I was told to say that.
Oh my. Hey, we got Kai in the house. Thank you for being here. We got Jesse Miller at the Crow's Nest. Hello, Jesse. And of course, we had Drunk 3PO, which we said hello to already. And apparently he's moving to California because I guess now he's getting married to Gina Carano.
We saw that coming, yeah.
All he has done is bashed California every time I mention it.
Exactly.
And now it all takes is Gina, a little
tables
Zoom
have
call.
turned.
Which is
he's on a freaking red eye.
It's so weird because I'm pretty sure they're going to be filming The Mandalorian in Florida, so it might just be easier for him to stay, right?
Yeah, she could end up moving there. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody's
maybe he's moving to a town called California in Florida that does not exist yet. That's being constructed by some of the studios.
I like it.
He's dropping leaked hints right here. We're not.
I know, right?
Yeah,
Jay can be our working piece.
Keep an eye out for season 3. He's going to have a cameo.
He is actually going to be like the jeans guy.
Well, he was the jeans guy.
He was the jeans
guy.
guy.
Now he's gonna literally be the jeans guy.
It's gonna be official.
That's hilarious. I don't know what you guys are talking about, but that's really funny.
You know the jeans guy?
Like he was in the shot of the.
I haven't seen the show.
So. Oh, you haven't seen the show yet?
Oh, okay.
Steven's here. Hello, Steven. Steven what? Saucedo. Old school film and gaming reviews. What's going on, man? Big supporter. Thank you so much for being here. Enter the Unfamiliar. That's you. You're on the panel too. Hi.
Hi. Welcome, Enter the Unfamiliar. You sound like a great guy. I'll definitely subscribe to your channel.
Gafford's Dog's here. Thank you so much for being here. Big supporter. Really appreciate you. A 16-bit mascot. Trey Courtney. There's a lot of cool people in the chat. Thank you so much. Bob. What? Bug with honey is king?
King. He says Drunk is moving in with Cecil.
It says it's Bob Bug with one eye skiing.
There you go. What? Thank you.
Is Cecil in California?
One Ice King. One Ice King is king. Sorry.
Thank you, Script Doctor. And Cecil is in New York, so
okay. I didn't think he was here.
Maybe
so I
Cecil's
guess
in Cali too. Who knows?
Maybe Cecil's
in Long Island.
Yeah, what is that? No one wants to move to Cali. Come on, for real.
People that live here don't.
Apparently, Drunk does. Apparently, Drunk does. He said so. He said he might be moving to California soon.
Well, he's in love.
Simps do.
Exactly.
I mean, what a groupie, right? So. All right. So we have a show. We actually have a show. We have content that we're going to cover. We're going to start with Patty Jenkins's comments about Wonder Woman and how the body swap situation.
Ooh. The body
Wonder
swap.
Woman, 1984 director Patty Jenkins comments on body swap Backlash, because you guys know that, like, Steve, you guys have all seen the movie, right? Everybody on this panel has seen the movie?
Yep.
I didn't mean to see the
I have
movie.
not, but I know what they're talking about.
Oh, Makini, you still haven't seen it. Okay, well, I'm sure you don't care if we spoil it, because at this point,
No, I already know. So go ahead.
Yeah, you've been on the internet now, so you already know what's going on. But yeah, so it says Wonder Woman 1984 has proved to be divisive for a number of reasons, but one plot point in particular has come in for quite a lot of backlash. The quartering said like she raped a dude.
Well, put it this way. This is what it is. He could not say yes to anything Gal Gadot or Wonder Woman wanted to do with him. So even if this man, it's Wonder Woman.
It's a possession. It's a very complex possession.
Yes,
so
exactly.
He did not agree to be possessed, and he did not agree for his body to be used in whatever way the soul occupying his body wanted. Because again, Steve's soul and Gal Gadot's and Wonder Woman's soul consented, but the body in play did not. So and at that point in time, we don't know if the body would ever be reverted to the original person or not, or if it's like a theft of body. Like it's very complicated.
And you know what sucks is, like, at the end of the movie, when she does run into this guy back in his own body, she's like giggling because she totally had sex with the dude, and he can never know that he had sex with Wonder Woman. That's bullshit.
Well, but here's the thing. People keep saying that, but what if this guy was in a relationship? I mean, it's not like,
if he was married.
If he was married,
or
how
if
was he chosen too? Like we never really get why he was chosen. Yeah, it was just random.
Though. Yeah, we never really got into that though. Like when she went to his house and stuff, she was like, "Oh yeah, like I guess he's a person," but like there was no mention of like wife or kids or.
Yeah, like it would have been interesting. It would have been like if he had been some descendant, of
Steve Trevor.
Like it's his, maybe it was his sister's, great
nephew,
something like that. Exactly. Maybe that. I mean, but it still wouldn't have been right. I mean, it's still messed up any way you slice it. But
the problem
a little more interesting. It's like, okay, maybe the DNA, it's the same DNA, so that's how it. But it's just messed up altogether when you think.
The problem is this a 2.5 hour movie that doesn't explain anything?
Right.
Yeah, it's like listening to Congress.
Yes.
yeah,
it's true.
Filibuster.
Well, the article says a fan tweeted a pretty lame defense of the body swap of director Patty Jenkins, which suggests that it doesn't really matter that Diana sleeps with Steve while he's in the body of, let's say, an oblivious and unwilling participant, because it all gets erased when she takes back her wish. Jenkins's response is not exactly in depth, but she does seem to agree because she says, "Ha ha ha, exactly," to this person's post.
It's not taken back. I mean, it's
they didn't go back in time, did they? Because that's not how the movie ends.
No, they didn't go back in time.
The fact that he doesn't remember isn't a defense. Like that's
not. That also proves that it does happen.
Isn't that a defense of a lot of? Isn't that a lot of the defense of like a lot of like rape? People,
yeah, if you slip somebody a roofie and they don't remember,
yeah, exactly.
Is it okay? Because
they don't remember anymore.
No, it's not.
And what I'm saying is the worst part is no way this guy would have said no, but he didn't have the chance to say yes, and he doesn't remember it. That is not fair.
But that's not even true. I mean, this idea that he wouldn't have said no just because she's beautiful, he may have said no if he has a wife. Like,
well, given how he dressed, I think he was gay.
Yeah.
Well, hear this person out, because I think
Scott, you don't want to say definitely, absolutely, he would have said no.
No, I'm not saying 100%. I'm saying this: if this guy's a single guy, it's Wonder Woman. She's gorgeous, she's powerful. But the truth of the matter is, he did not have the right. He didn't have a chance to say yes or no, and that's the fault of this movie. Nothing gets She still remembers feeling how he felt when they had sex. Like she felt that man's body. So it can't be wiped away because she remembers the act of having sex with this body.
And she remembers that she dressed him up and stuff. So like,
yeah,
you know, so there is memory there.
Yeah.
All right, so read this.
But this person says, I'm linking the wiki to the body swap movie genre. If you can't see that Patty Jenkins was playing with that trope, then even intentionally pointing out the problematic nature that all these movies have to skirt around, then I think you need to re-examine a beloved 80s fantasy movie like Big with Tom Hanks, where he, as a 12-year-old boy in an adult body, has sex with
his
an
adult body.
female.
Right.
It's his adult body, though.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
that's
his own body.
But
It's
that's
not like
making
Judge Wilson
her.
and sorry, the Judge Reinhold and
Yeah, vice versa.
vice versa. It's
Vice
not like
versa.
vice versa.
Right.
But it's
It's-
making her a statutory rapist by default, apparently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. But here's the other thing too.
Dude.
So, like, we know nothing about this character, but based on the clothing that he has in his closet in the 80s, I would suspect he was gay. So then you have that on top of it.
Oh.
That's too.
Oh my!
Because remember, he's wearing
Think
like
about that.
in that scene at the end of the film.
He's wearing that sash.
He's wearing that sash, and he's basically wearing the outfit that Diana was wearing when she propositioned it to Steve to wear, which he didn't like. Like, she was wearing the exact same color scheme, the same pants, the same shirt,
Yep.
just missing the scarf, and that's what Steve was dressed in. Is that they were matching couples,
Wow.
and it's like, no, that's not for the 80s. That's
You're
much.
saying
That's
he's heading for a bathhouse, is what you're saying.
pretty much, yeah. He's
Okay.
got a little Greek in him, and it's
Okay.
not Diana.
Yeah, and then this person goes on to say the movie implies that if you revoke your wish, then much of the impact of your wish is revoked. Hence, even the sex with Diana had with the guys possessed with Steve may have actually been eradicated from the movie's fabric of reality, which I think is a bit of a stretch because that's assuming a lot. Like,
Does that remove morality, responsibility?
Here's the thing,
Exactly.
right? They don't have the world being rotated back in time like the end of Superman
right?
when the wishes are renounced. Like, when the wishes are renounced, Maxwell Lord is hugging his kid amongst tons of debris and damage in the park around him. Like, nothing, everything's happened. That's kind of for sure there. Like, if it went back in time where all of her actions didn't exist and she maybe doesn't quite fully recollect what happened during that period, you can kind of justify it a little bit more because it's like, yes, everything's been reset. Maybe she has an inkling, like she knows this guy but doesn't know how or why, and that way you physically it hasn't really happened, but there's an echo of it afterwards, and maybe a potential for her to get over Steve and maybe pursue this man romantically on a proper consensual level. But they didn't do that because they weren't thinking of that. They were just trying to think of 80s tropes and how to do them and not understand how those tropes worked, or the fact that they don't even realize the body swapping trope never involved the other people having sex. It was only ever like the aging up aspect of it.
Or
Right,
with
right.
the invasion of the body snatchers, it's done in a it's done in like a horror movie type way.
Yeah.
You know, where it's the villain that's doing it. It's never done in like a good positive way.
Right.
You know,
I don't know.
it's
What
the
about
bad guys,
Quantum
the
Leap?
alien. Well, Quantum Leap, but was he? Yeah, I guess he was in.
There's two episodes, I think, where in one episode he leapt into a person's body in the midst of coitus, and so he had no control over that. And then another one, I think he was following in. Oh wait, another one he was newly married and he was trying to avoid having sex with his newlywed wife on a train because he didn't ethically think it was right to do, and that ended up leading.
And he had no control over it either. He it wasn't by his choice that he was going into these in Quantum Leap. You know, he was just
And that's Steve
It
Trevor.
was random.
Yeah.
it was random.
He also
The one in
did
the
it.
one part where he's mid coitus, that's where he fathers a daughter who ends up going on to the Quantum Leap project to bring him back.
Right.
And
Well, let
and the
me
thing
say
is
this
that
real quick.
Sam doesn't even know about it after he's left because his mind gets kind of partially wiped with every leap.
Right. Well, one
Right.
thing I found interesting is that Steve Trevor is not at fault. I mean, yes, he has that quantum leap jump into a body that he's now alive, seeing the woman he's loved. It's 80 years later, 60 years later, and I can understand why he doesn't
Grasp it. Yeah.
grasp
he
the
doesn't
idea
get
that
it,
this
yeah.
is somebody, but he also is the one that actually brings up it's wrong towards the end. She still doesn't want to let him go.
She doesn't want to let him go. You know what's
He
interesting
forces
is
it.
what this Rob is mentioning here. I didn't understand why they just didn't bring back Trevor himself. Why the
Right.
need for the body swap scenario? Because they had like walls appearing out of nowhere. So you would think that the wig would be like strong enough, like that stone would be strong enough to just bring back.
Well, not only that, you have a great repeating of a similar meet that Steve Trevor and Wonder Woman had from the first movie. Like, you know that part where he's like in the bath and Wonder Woman just walks in on him and he's freaking out? Well, if you make him kind of appear out of nowhere, he would most likely be naked. And if it's in a room or vicinity that Diana is in, you then repeat that exact same moment again where he's like, whoa, wait, deja vu, but this is not a bathhouse. This is this is the office of the Smithsonian that I've never seen before. And in which case, and it totally justifies the whole you don't have a passport thing, because if you're in another body, you probably have ID. And I believe they showed points of him having identification through a wallet and photos and whatnot. So the body swap thing completely is nonsensical. But if you take him where a point where he just manifests out of nothing, and then she has to like get him clothes and like, you know, kind of make a new identity for him in this world that's so foreign to him, but also full of wonder, like that kind of makes more sense when it's where he's snatched from the afterlife as opposed to just being, you know, transposed from soul to soul.
Or they could have had it where he actually wakes up where the plane exploded.
And he just,
you know, like I woke up in Germany, like on the ground where his body was blown apart. Like, I don't know what happened, but I was naked on the ground in Germany. I had to figure out how to get here, you know, make it a week or two later that he finally somehow figures out a way to get there. The last thing I thought they would do is a body swap. Like that to me was a cheap way of doing it. And you stole this guy. You stole the wonder of him returning.
At the end, visually, it would have been stunning, I think, to see the things being reversed. If we saw like the wall disintegrating, and at the same time, it paralleled him disintegrating. That would have been amazing. Like that would have been emotionally heart-wrenching.
Yeah, you're right, Jane. That would get you in the feels.
If you wanted to do the body swap, I think it would have been more powerful to have the other guy play the role. Because if you're going to do the body swap, then what you want to show and emphasize is that the other actor is now Steve Trevor. This is who he is.
Yeah,
so
that's smart.
Like the only other like time that you would show that he is that person is like when he's looking in the mirror, or like you know when like you know
that's all they were gonna do.
Yeah, for that, like for a brief moment when they did that shot where he was like it was circling around and she was realizing who he is. Okay, sure, like that moment, you know, you're kind of going back and forth and doing these camera tricks. But if he was that person the whole time, that sex scene would have been like weirder, you know, because it would have been like more people would have been like, well, that's weird. She's like, he's somebody else's body now. Like this is kind of weird.
She's got her hands on his chest. He's like, you're hairier now, and he's like, yeah, that's it's
weird. And I don't care. That's so super bizarre to even think about something like that happening to you. It's like the people who are defending this aren't thinking about what if it happened to you. Even if you like the guy, like Henry Cavill. If I found out that I slept with Henry Cavill and I didn't remember, I would still be a little bit upset.
That would suck.
Wait, what? You would still be what?
I would still be upset because I don't remember.
That's what I was trying to say.
Throw her A game, you know, that's a shame.
Right.
By the way, sorry, Ruthie, for totally ruining this movie for you, but we're saving you some time. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Makini, jump in.
Yeah,
if I can interject, if I can. I don't know if my theory makes sense, but this is reminding me a lot of what goes on in the story of Cyberpunk 2077, where you have this character, Johnny Silverhand, who is a construct only in your mind. And there's a moment
for people.
Well, they already know the game, but there's a moment in the game, and I actually was in this moment where he has where he asks to ask a mission where he asks you if you could stay back in the driver's seat and let him take over your body. And that does involve in a sex scene with another character. So I'm wondering, what if would it have made sense if it was this guy who had Steve Trevor in his mind, and you saw kind of like the internal conflict between that guy and Steve Trevor fighting it out over the body, and then going into that sex scene? Would it made sense if he didn't let Steve Trevor have sex with Wonder Woman, or if he let him have it? That would have made a lot more sense? Would have that made that defense much more?
You're going with more of like a supernatural, the show where an angel has to be accepted into the person's body where they can still communicate with each other. Yeah. I just think it got really crazy. And the biggest issue I have is that the dude does not remember having sex with Wonder Woman.
Right.
That's not fair.
Hi, Damaj and DJ Scandalous.
Hey, Damaj.
Oh, and we have another beautiful man joining us.
Thank you.
Culture.
His name is Culture Casino.
He's a beautifully mute man.
Culture. Yeah, he is.
Wow, you sound great.
Words of wisdom. Words of wisdom there.
That's deep. No, stop saying that about me. Thank you. Thank you.
What is Culture still muted?
Yeah.
All I know is he's saying beautiful things about me.
Speaking words of wisdom.
So, let it be.
Culture, how are you?
The greatest.
Well, I'm fine. I'm well recovered from an amazing lack of sleep over the course of a 4-day holiday weekend. So you know how that goes.
I do. We have people calling for you, Cuddle Casino.
Oh, hello, everyone.
Hey. Cuddle in the house. There's some great people in here. Jesse Miller, Trey Courtney, Kai's here, Barrett Head, Bone, DJ Scandalous. We have some great people up in this spot.
Great people. I'm so happy and so excited that all of you guys are here on my channel. I'm so happy right now.
You're welcome.
You. Scott, oh my God.
That was the Beatles, Bob. Bob, Bug, Honey.
I'm hoping Bob was joking.
Yeah, hoping so.
Ground control to Major Tom.
I'm David Bowie.
We're gonna have somebody else join us as well because somebody just DM'd me and was like, "Do you have room for one more?" And I was like,
Drunk 3PO.
"I do because I paid."
Is it Drunk 3PO? You paid?
No,
you paid
no. I paid for
Drunk 3PO. I'm not allowed to
I paid for the streaming service so that I can have like 10 people on here.
Ooh.
So
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's what's going on. That's why I was able to play the outro and the intro and everything.
Awesome.
I know. I'm like, see, and I got like the Rogue Entertainment in the corner and everything. See, like Jane made that, and I stole it.
Oh, that's new, huh? I like it.
It's great.
So
are we going anywhere?
Yeah. The other thing that we were going to talk about, other than Wonder Woman,
we need a Rogue Entertainment.
Well, since we're talking about men having problems with being sexually abused, let's talk about this for a moment because apparently this happened. Fashion designer Alexander Wang rejects sexual assault allegations as male models take up the Me Too mantle.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Dang.
About time.
After several men went public with claims that they were sexually assaulted, even drugged by the American couture prodigy, Wang has denied the accusations. Some, however, insist his behavior was an open secret in the industry. The 37-year-old designer denounced the allegations as grotesquely false in a statement on Thursday, several days after men began coming forward with their stories of being preyed upon by Wang.
Hey, is Alexander Wang a guy or a girl?
It's a dude.
It's a
It is a
guy.
dude?
Yeah.
I just love their preyed upon by Wang. Oh.
I wonder if they realized that when they wrote this.
This journalist is clever.
Very clever.
Accusing the men of spreading lies, the designer insisted he had never engaged in the atrocious behavior described. I intend to get to the bottom of this and hold accountable whoever is responsible originating these claims and viciously spreading them online, Wang continued in a statement to People magazine.
Wang's going after bottoms now?
Damn.
Yeah. Insisting that the allegations were the product of social media accounts infamous for posting defamatory material from undisclosed and or anonymous sources with zero evidence, like Scott's many bot accounts.
Yes. Well, that's how I got over 1,000.
Exactly.
Nice dig, Nina.
British model Owen.
He's claiming that these are random, like, anonymous accounts making these allegations, and yet you have real people coming forward.
Yes,
Yeah, like British model.
This British model. Yeah, a fellow TikTok star, Scott.
I'm a Clapper star. I am no longer TikTok. It's owned by the commies.
Well, Wang
So
doesn't
I
want
do
to clap.
Wang went
I
up
just
and
hit
clapped.
5K on Clapper, so screw
Scott,
you.
did you have any meeting with Mr. Wang?
No, I don't touch Mr. Wang. I have Clapper.
Wang doesn't have the clap. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, wait. We have. Oh, never mind. I thought the other guest.
Do you wonder if he was like, anybody want a Wang Chung tonight? You know what I mean?
Damn.
Oh
I have an
my
interesting story
God.
about that song.
Damn.
Everybody have fun tonight. Everybody Wang Chung tonight.
Once I roofie you.
I sang that during a group event once.
Oh.
The people.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
With,
Yeah, there was a guy on the couch who was having problems performing his performance, and I was with someone amidst a group of someone's, and the song came over the radio, and I looked right at dude and sang the chorus to Wang Chung, and
I'm sure that helped him out.
That totally did not help him out.
Certain
He hated me.
Can you tell me what a Wang Chung is?
It was something I was performing at the time.
No,
Hey
that's
now.
the lyric in the song.
That's interesting.
Well, the name of the band was Wang Chung, I think.
Yeah.
But, you know.
They
That
were.
was like the funniest part is like everybody Wang Chung tonight, and then there's someone in the background. Can you tell me what a Wang Chung is?
What is a Wang Chung?
That's part of the song.
But what is it?
Did Mr. Wang do anything to make you?
It's a form of
Show me where Mr. Wang touched you on this doll.
Hold on, let me finish
I
this
can't with
because
this
it gets
article.
worse.
All right.
So British model Owen Moody posted a TikTok video on Wednesday alleging that the designer had groped his crotch at a Manhattan nightclub in 2017, causing him to freeze completely because I was in so much shock. That shock, Mooney said, was only magnified when he realized
Mooney was
Mooney
got
was
fondled by
Wang.
Mr. Wang.
Is this a full job?
Supremacy.
Mooney. It says Mooney magnified the Wang. Is that what we're
Is this
saying?
the backlog B?
Anytime I see Wang's name mentioned or see him with celebrity best friends, it just reminds me of what he did, and it's really effed up. Memory to have, the model explained. Mooney's far from alone.
Anytime I see Wang, I'm a little put off as well. So there you go.
Fair enough. Mooney is far from being
there.
alone and being victimized by the popular designer. If the stories that have surfaced in the last few days are any indication, transgender model Gia Garrison accused Wang of trying to hold down her panties while she was dancing at the same party where Mooney was allegedly groped.
Wow, that
Garrison-
was equal opportunity.
Yeah, it's equal opportunity.
That is freaky. That is very freaky.
Freaky
Garrison
deaky.
said she has repeatedly refused to wear Alexander Wang clothing in subsequent fashion shoots due to the incident. Another model, Nick, who declined to reveal his last name, maybe was something
Nick, Nickelodeon.
Oh, maybe it was Richard.
Have you ever seen Bachelor Party? Nick the Dick.
Yeah. Richard
Wait,
is
is that the Tom Hanks bachelor party?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why
Classic.
I said
Drugs to the
Richard.
left, drugs to the right.
No.
Great movie.
Mm.
Oh my God.
Keep going.
Parrot head. Another model, Nick, who declined to reveal his last name.
Wow.
shared that
That's called the peanut butter dragon. Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Parrot head. I only have a cat. I like the rougher tongues.
Oh my
With
goodness.
Wang, with, oh my god! I said with a Wang, you guys. You guys.
Going clubbing with a wang. Hey.
Who's clubbing with a Wang?
A transgender model
Probably what he
maybe
called
would have
it.
been. Yeah.
He emerged from a blackout to find Wang performing sexual acts on him twice. I honestly
Wait a second.
Two times he blacked out, or once he blacked out and twice the sexual acts were being
Well,
performed?
Well,
Twice.
he was being possessed by another soul at the time.
Oh.
I know.
Blackout. So it doesn't count.
How does
Diana
it
Prince
happen-
wished for him to be someone else.
I know, right?
Go for it,
How
Jane.
does it happen twice after you wake up?
Like
You
maybe
wake
he
up.
like came to, passed out, came to again.
Oh, he
was,
came
like, so
to
messed
all
up.
right.
Wording. Thank you.
Phrasing.
Phrasing.
Yeah.
Just phrasing it.
Wait, I can do this. Hold on. I can do this. I can do this.
No, I need 2 men on this. That's what she said. No time, but she did. No time! Guys, get on this.
Wow.
Twice.
Oh my god.
Twice.
So,
Makes no
anyways,
sense, like-
you guys get the gist, right?
Oh no, we should keep reading this. This has been hysterical. I mean,
Oh,
this is
okay.
awful.
No,
This is
no, keep
awful.
going, Mr.
We need to be informed.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think we need to get to the root of all this.
Okay.
You need to
Okay.
get
We'll
to
get.
the bottom of the problem.
We need to nip this Wang in
Yeah.
the butt.
Oh my god.
Like I said, grab it right at the roots.
Where was I?
No,
Another
and
model.
in
Nick,
male
who
modeling, don't forget, in male modeling, there's a lot of stiff competition.
Oh my.
Yes.
No way.
I honestly feel so embarrassed and manipulated. The man who subsequently remained in contact with Wang told the Daily Mail. Wait, you remained in contact?
Daily
Oh, you don't want to remain in contact with Wang.
Oh my God,
No,
Wang
that's the
Superman.
last thing you want to do.
Jane, what was that?
Why would you remain in contact with a person who abused you?
Well, Jane, that's called cuddling when you remain in contact with Wang.
No.
By the way, welcome,
Oh.
welcome, Polly. We have Polly in the house. That is our guest that is joining.
Polly!
Welcome,
Oh,
Paul.
Hey.
Happy New Year. Thank you, Nina.
Happy New Year to you. I'm very glad that you're joining us for
Hello.
this very entertaining segment.
I'm so glad that I made it for the Wang.
What are your thoughts on Wang, Polly?
Tu Wang Fu, Wang Chung,
Oh, yes.
Wang Chung tonight. That's all I got. That's all I want. That's all I want from this Wang.
Two Wangs don't mang a right.
Exactly.
Everybody Wang Chung tonight. Anyways, okay.
Everybody have fun tonight.
The whole Me Too movement has been more around women, and people don't realize this can also happen to men. I being one of them.
And that's true.
25-year-old said.
That's very
Adding
true.
that he misunderstood Wang's aggressive behavior and had been warned by former boyfriend of the designer, whom he wrote off as jealous at the time. While Nick does not believe his drinks were spiked with MDMA, he insists he had never blacked out before or since, and several other men have accused Wang of drugging them en route to various after parties by slipping the substance into the bottles of water he then encouraged them to drink.
Wow.
Wow, this dude is
Wow.
like,
If someone's telling you drink this, drink this, drink this,
Yeah.
you know it's spiked.
You're right.
Yep.
Well, I love, just once you step into this industry, that world, that subculture, this is every day as far as just the party lifestyle. Just as far as what people indulge in on these levels of excess and access too. So I think someone just didn't get that modeling job that they really want.
Yeah. It could be. I mean, once again, a lot of the Me Too movement is after the fact type stuff where people knew what they were getting. Look, I'm sorry, but the casting couch if wrong or right, the casting couch has been around for generations.
A
And
long
to say
time.
that
Very
you
long
were
time.
forced into something, no, you're not forced. You decided to perform something to get a job. And now, because you regret it years later, even though you made a career from it, now you're attacking the person that did it.
Yeah, but
The whole
there's
Me
a-
Too movement was a vicious attack to also get people out of, positions of power and replace them with, women or others.
Well, it was
There's a-
exploited.
there's
It
a-
was exploited because there's
Yes.
the difference is that some people conflated the transactional action of that casting couch to assault, which is what not the case was. And the ones that had legitimate assault, where it was actually assault, where it was rejected at the time and it was being forced on, were then conflated into the other aspects. So you ended up muddying the waters of the very movement that was trying to do something correct. Because like I know actors and actresses that have been in situations where they've been put into a casting couch thing and they have rejected it and walked away. And the fact that they were allowed to reject and walked away proves that it wasn't actually an assault. It was really just a really skeevy transaction. And that's one thing to do, because it wasn't in the same thing where they were cornered in an area and then forced or compelled.
There's a part.
And for the case with regards to like, Harvey Weinstein, he did do some stuff that was forced and compelled. And he also did stuff that was transactional. Oh, Leslie Headland?
Oh, Leslie Headland. Yeah, she was part
No, she just helped out.
Yeah.
Apparently, according to DJ Scandalous, I heard Wang's assistant Harry Dong was also involved.
Yeah.
Nina, your line readings are always amazing.
So
Word
this
for
article
word.
goes on. Model Alliance, a fashion advocacy group, released a statement on Instagram earlier this week underlying its solidarity with those who have shared accusations of sexual assault by Alexander Wang. The organization emphasized that the Me Too movement should not be limited to female victims, noting that the fashion industry's lack of transparency and accountability leaves all models vulnerable to abuse, regardless of their sex or gender identity. Another fashion watchdog group, Diet Prada, claimed rumors about Wang's predatory behavior. This guy's name had been an open secret in the modeling world for months, if not years. Facing massive backlash, Wang has disabled comments on his Instagram account. However, he is no stranger to controversy, having been raked over the coals in 2017 for casting R&B singer and sexual predator R. Kelly in one of his runaway shows. Others, including rapper Azalea Banks, have attempted to bring attention to his behavior in the past by mirroring anonymous accusations against the designer. And that is
wangs of a feather flock together. So
yeah. That's
hang
with Wang more.
There's
a far cry between trading sexual favors for advancement and being drugged and forced into a situation.
And here's the thing, you are, everything's transactional, unfortunately, in the world. I mean, and so, when you muddy the waters, like Script was talking about, like what was happening with the casting couch, during that period of time, when you were having people that were legitimately being assaulted, there's a difference. And now that we've done this, there's no going back. This particular thing we're going to be trying to sort out for years to come, because there's no doubt that people are assaulted on both sides of gender, on both male and female. Yeah, it doesn't matter. And I mean, it's concerning, but when you hear more than one story, more than 4 stories, more than 10 stories around somebody, that's pretty clear there's a problem. And that's why it surprised me it took so long for them to go after someone like Danny Masterson. And people,
who we will be talking about, actually. Good transition there, Culture. My goodness.
It's almost like I planned almost like I planned a segue.
Culture transitions well.
Can I just say something real quick on this too? The Me Too movement started out, and the purity of it has been, warped. You have somebody like Rose McGowan who was one of the people that started the hashtag, that came out and spoke against it for being politicized. Thank you. Thank you. Like the other word
Scott.
for flight attendant, I just can't say it.
Flight attendant?
No, the other word.
Stewardess?
Yeah, stewardess. Son of a bitch. Anyways.
Stewardess.
Or
steward.
You can't speak. The guy with one lip can say the word.
Or steward. Why? Those are very simple.
Stewardess. I have to say it slow. Shut your face.
There you
Some
go.
people have
stewardess.
It was all the ecstasy in the 90s. What I was trying to say is they took a hashtag that was trying to help people and weaponized it. And now when people are accused of the Me Too, there is this automatic layer of, is this real? Instead of being like, let's look at it. It's either, it used to be, women just, you have to accept the woman's not lying. That's what they told us. And then once it became Biden, who they pointed out was a Me Too type person, they said, well, we now have to take each one into consideration. So
by his own vice president.
Exactly. Exactly. His own vice president called him racist and a sexual predator, but whatever. Good luck, everybody, for the next 4 years.
Well, it becomes difficult for people who have been through those situations. I have friends that have supported the Me Too movement because they've been through situations like that. But you also have people who make false allegations for attention. And then you have people who just want to create drama, just have, they're nasty people and want to spread negativity and get behind anyone, no matter what allegation is spread. But the real problem is that these things do happen. It's not just limited to women. It's not just limited to it's a gay, straight. It's and each allegation has to be taken seriously, and evidence provided and something, and some kind of something taken place if a person is proved to be a predator or an aggressor, or else these things are just going to keep happening. When you have someone like that story we just read, who's obviously there's multiple people coming forward and saying that they have been assaulted by this person, something needs to happen, or else you're going to send a message to every predator out there that, if you have enough money and power, you can get away with it. And that's just not fair to everyone.
No, not at all.
And I would also say too, it's important not to individually buy into that notion that, oh, this person lied, so no one else can be believed, or this person has weaponized it, so now it suddenly doesn't exist, or has been diminished in some way because of it. Individually, you have to make a decision to stand your moral ground and say, if someone makes an allegation, I'm going to take it seriously and look into it, like Stephen was saying, and not just sort of write it off because it's a hashtag now. You
don't forget though, Jane.
Go ahead.
Real quick, Jane, and answer this. Me Too was a mob, like a mob type of thing. It was more of like this, we're going to get that person. We don't need evidence. We're just doing what, the woman said. You had Chris Hardwick, who from the Talking Dead,
who was
almost destroyed his life. He was innocent. So I can understand, yes, each basic.
That one guy committed suicide, didn't he? There was that YouTuber guy.
Yeah.
That Zoe Quinn basically accused.
Right, pushed to
Zoe
kill
Quinn,
him.
Alex Holoka, who basically
what you need to do is
but
what you need to do is what Jane said, take each one separately. The problem is that people now have weaponized it where when a claim comes up, you're either going to, certain people are automatically going to accept it depending on the person's leanings and who they are and the situation. And that's not fair. It needs to be down the board. Let's take each one. There should be proof. We need to understand what's going on, because you're destroying people's lives just by using social media and a hashtag.
Well, it's all been everything's
celebrities doing that more so than the general public. Because if you go into groups, like people who were using the hashtag were talking about their personal experiences. So the majority of people weren't participating in that mob mentality. They were just talking about what they went through and what they would like to have seen be done differently.
A loud minority, I guess.
That's what it reminds me. Thank you, Scott, for bringing up the whole Chris Hardwick, Chloe Dykstra situation, because it was the whole thing that he was shut down by everything until it came out that it wasn't true, and he got his job back.
Well, I will say this: the Walking Dead fans supported him
right away.
I'm including myself in that because I was a fan from the very beginning. We shut it down. If there was
Yep.
a stream of conversation where he was being trashed, we were there standing behind him 100%. We were demanding his show come back on. He got so much support. The fans simply weren't going to stand by
Right.
and allow him to be
Which
him to
is
lose.
kind of like the opposite of what happened with Vic Mignon, because
Right,
he was
Vic
the kid,
Mignogna.
and the anime crowd totally turned on him, and I was shocked. I was like,
It
what
w-
the hell?
Right, and just to kind of just add on to what I was saying is just that I'm in the belief that I have to believe evidence first. I have to believe evidence, facts, and evidence first before I just make an assumption and just believe everything, because it is reminding me of the Chris Hardwick situation. It's reminding me of, you know, the Zoe Quinn, Alex Saloka situation, where Alex Saloka ended up having, because everybody turned on him and because everyone was asking him, he ended up taking his own life, and that's not what should be used against. You know, Nina, you brought up the Vic Mignogna situation where it was the anime fans, they all stuck behind him, but it was a lot of the people in the industry who was siding with the voice actors in the industry who was siding with Monica Rial, and, you know, him having to take him to court just because of these allegations, and unfortunately losing that side. But, you know, and that was the thing, was that, like, it ended up that, you know, like, the court of, like, you know, public opinion ended up being on Vic's side, because a lot of people supported Vic, and a lot of people started to see the cracks in what was going on, especially when they were continuously trying to destroy his career, even for no apparent reason whatsoever. This also reminds me of a situation that happened not too long ago with I don't know if you guys are familiar with the YouTuber Angry Joe, where I think it was a journalist who came out. I don't think it was sexual allegations or anything. It was sexual allegations, but it was similar to that, or just like uncomfortableness, or, you know, advances. And, you know, there was a lot of support behind Joe, and even, you know, Angry Joe himself coming out and explaining exactly what happened, and it, you know, causing the other person to basically just, you know, shut up about it. Kind of the point. Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. One of the biggest problems is I don't agree with the mob mentality, but
no, I don't either.
The stigma that follows someone who has been assaulted,
exactly,
it sometimes causes them, and just even the mental and emotional problems that a person goes through after an assault. They may not report it. Now, I believe that all assaults should be reported and evidence should be presented, but a lot of times these assaults aren't reported, and so you have people who have gone through these assaults that have not found vindication, may have, you know, been in denial, may have, you know, not sought any kind of legal representation, that, you know, feel ashamed or have anger in them because, you know, that nothing ever came of it. You know, nothing, their aggressors were never exposed. So you have a lot of that. And I don't agree in the believe all women, believe all, you know, I don't believe in that. Because there are instances of people who make false claims, but a lot of the anger, I think, comes from people who did not come forward. And, you know, it's a shame for them. It's a shame for anyone who goes through these situations and doesn't have the strength, or doesn't have who is too broken or too ashamed to come forward. But that shouldn't be the driving force behind finding justice for people who have been under these types of in these situations. Go ahead, Mac.
And another thing to kind of add on to what you're saying, Stephen, is that when you look at the other side, and this is why, you know, the whole kangaroo court Twitter thing is really bad in this situation, because say if someone like Vic, who, you know, same like Vic or Gamer Joe, who get guys who came out, guys who explained and proved their innocence, it's already been decided for them. They can't recover from that. It's going to be it's going to be very hard for them to recover from that. Even if somebody, say for somebody like Vic, or even Angry Joe, or even Chris Hardwick, you know, because they have a high stature, they're able to kind of bounce back from this. But think about somebody who, you know, somebody on the lower totem pole, somebody who's just a regular Joe, who gets his allegations
Vindicated.
And comes out, gets vindicated, he proves his innocence, but it just ruins his career. It just ruins his life. It ruins his career. they won't be able to trust him anymore, or there won't be any because this whole court of public opinion, this whole kangaroo court has already been set. It's already been decided. They already decided in their head, regardless of evidence.
Yeah. I mean, people's careers, people's lives, reputations have been destroyed because of accusations that were false. Because once an accusation is said, it's hard to take back the thought, oh, this guy's a rapist. Now, 3 months later, you find out he's not. You've, for 3 months, have programmed yourself to believe he is. A lot of people won't believe they're not anymore. Oh, no. He might have got away with it, but he definitely is one. Or she, whatever. And that's the tough part. You have
right, and I personally feel that there should be consequence to that for people who make those false accusations and it comes out as completely false. There should be, because it never, nothing ever really happens to them.
Not just that.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Jane? I heard your.
No, I was saying that
girl talk.
Part of it too. I mean, there are potentially consequences for false allegations in terms of lawsuits and things like that. And in some places, they may have, it may be a criminal offense to make these sorts of accusations. But I think too, when it comes to public opinion and all of that, we all have a responsibility to understand that until there is a conviction, we shouldn't jump the gun. Because all of us, I think we watch the news. And journalists aren't investigating like they used to. A lot of these police investigations when it comes to sexual assault cannot be trusted. The initial reports cannot be trusted. You really have to wait. As bad as it sounds on the news, jumping the gun, which is your instinct because you want to protect the alleged victim, is something we all have to learn to not do. It's horrible. We listen to it, but then we have to tell ourselves to wait until all of the facts come out, because it is incredibly difficult to prove. People have their own motives, and you just don't know all the facts until they're shown.
Well said, Jane. Well said.
Let's get on Danny.
On that note, because we had a transition about 15 minutes ago when
did a great job.
Can I say one more thing? Just to add on Jane's here, and to kind of add on what Jane's saying is that it is an unfortunate time where you have a situation like with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, where all the facts, all the evidence, everything's been played out, but yet the court was still against Johnny Depp. They still decided that, despite every amount of evidence, despite everything that was going in his favor, despite everything that was proven.
Well, that guy was completely corrupt, though. The judge in that case is very corrupt.
Right, and that's just something to take in mind, is that a situation like that can't happen.
Innocent people are convicted. That's true.
Yeah, it happens.
So Danny Masterson, though, a judge has ruled that his suit must go through Scientology mediation.
What?
How is that even legal? How is that even legal in this
Scientologist?
I don't know. Hold on.
He's a Scientologist?
Yeah, he's a Scientologist. He's been a Scientologist for basically all his life.
Yeah. Real quick before you go on it, Scientology as a religion is not like being Amish or a Native American on your own land. It's a religion. That's like saying if something, people were being sexually assaulted, it's almost like saying Danny Masterson is a priest and the Roman Catholic Church can deal with this. Like almost like he's being protected as like a church elder.
Right, exactly.
I guess that's what they're trying to do, but you'll read on. It's really strange that they're allowing it.
I actually was really curious because I know Jane is very knowledgeable about this stuff. So I wanted to read this and then see especially what she has to say, because I know, you're very familiar with law. So you can explain this to us, us lowly peasants. The stalking and intimidation cases brought by 4 women who have accused TV actor Danny Masterson of rape must now go through mediation with the Church of Scientology. A Los Angeles judge, of course, is from Los Angeles, has ruled Wednesday. The ruling comes just days after Masterson's scheduled arraignment on 3 charges of rape between 2001 and 2003 in early November. That hearing was set for January 6th. On Wednesday, Los Angeles.
To say before.
Sorry, Polly?
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I think you meant to say before. You said after. No big deal.
Oh, I'm
Before,
sorry.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
On Wednesday, Los Angeles County Superior Court Judge Stephen, whatever his name is, ruled that the harassment complaint from Chrissy Carnell Bixler, her husband, musician Cedric Bixler Zavala, Marie Bobette, man, these names.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who can't read names.
Two Jane Does must be settled by the church in religious arbitration, since an arbitration agreement already exists among the parties that compels disputes to be handled by the Church of Scientology. What does this mean, Jane?
Wow.
So the only thing I can imagine is that
I
you
get
have
it.
two different suits happening, a criminal case and a civil case.
Mhm.
That's the only way this would make any sense, because a criminal court can't order people into arbitration. But if there's a civil case pending, like for damages, which often does happen,
Which is what's happening here, I believe, because there's
Okay.
been, yeah.
okay, so that makes
well,
sense.
Jane-
Then there could be an arbitration agreement that they would have to comply with because they agreed to it.
But Jane, could it also be saying that they're all members of Scientology that
Yes.
signed agreements that this is
Right.
like legally
They've already
binding that
signed.
they would have to go through? Yeah, go through.
That's
the
what
church.
I thought it was, Scott.
It's part of
That's what
their
I thought.
Yeah.
part of their group fees. They have to
It may be
Yeah.
that if you have a grievance with a fellow church member,
membership dues
you
and
have to do this
yeah.
first.
So the article continues, in the August 2019 suit alleged the plaintiffs had been stalked and intimidated by the church agents after going to the police to report the allegations. Carnell Bixler has alleged that Masterson repeatedly sexually assaulted her while they were dating in 2001 and 2002. Bixler Zavala alleged that agents of the defendant assaulted them by means of including poisoning their dogs,
Oh my God.
assaults using automobiles, and harassing phone calls. Jane Doe
Look,
number
this-
one.
Yeah,
First of all-
Scientology is no joke. This is not the first time that people have brought up this type of harassment and fear tactics by the Church of Scientology. But because they're so large and they have people everywhere in media, in law enforcement, and judicial, it gets squashed that anybody who tries to speak out against. That's why that Leah Remedy show is really important, because she's trying to show this side of the church that has been getting away with it for years now, and it's important that people hear this. The church themselves want to protect him so bad that they will be they'll pull the old school mob effect of harassing, witnesses, and
Poisoning
stuff
people's
like that.
dogs, man. That's
Jesus.
messed up.
I mean, that's the thing that stood out to me, because if someone poisoned my dog, we're not going to court. I may be going to jail.
Hail,
Yeah,
Caesar. Hail.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, that's a straight up these are like straight up mafia tactics here going on.
Well, they are a mafia.
But they are.
They
yeah,
are.
They are. I've heard
But-
some crazy, firsthand stories, you guys, and this is definitely in line. No joke. I've heard some crazy firsthand stories, and
I was gonna,
okay.
yeah, I was gonna say, like the mafia, there's certain things you do, but you don't want to attract attention. So even in this little story, it's just kind of like, things don't make sense on both sides.
Mm.
And Bixler Zavala is a musician at the Drive-In, was the band that he with Omar Rodriguez. That's a great band.
Oh, at
They
the
were-
drive-in, yeah.
At the Drive-In.
Yep.
They're madmen. They're nuts. I mean, I'm not saying that. Oh yeah, don't believe the guy. I'm just saying that.
Right.
It's like
You don't know.
well, no, it's just all these. It's just Hollywood people pointing fingers at each other. It's just it's too
Yeah.
much.
I mean, if
No,
it's
that's really
true,
interesting.
They signed a contract, and the judge is holding them accountable for it. So they need to go to arbitration.
Correct.
If it fails, then they can go forward with their lawsuit.
But Jane,
Right.
even over not criminal though, you can't do a criminal arbitration.
It's not criminal. This
is civil. Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
So it says Jane Doe number
Good
one
white
also
Scott.
alleged harassment by property damage, threats of violence, assault, and sexual assault as retribution for reporting her alleged rape to police. Jane Doe number two was also part of the lawsuit that alleged infliction of emotional distress, stalking, and invasion of privacy by the defendants. Masterson's attorney, Andrew Bretler, said this was absolutely the correct result. We look forward to arbitrating the claims as the court directed. A decision was not made by the claims by Bobet Realis, who was not a member of the church and thus not subject to arbitration agreement. A status conference on the arbitration was set by the court for June 30th. So this is because they were all part of the church.
Right.
Except for that last person.
Except for that last person.
And I don't
Which
know
I wonder
why-
what's going to happen to her now, though. Like, does that mean she gets to go to like regular court?
Yeah, she gets to go forward without the arbitration requirement.
Okay,
Right.
great. Well, at least somebody might. I can't believe this shit about Hyde, you guys, because I used to
I
be a
can.
huge '70s show fan. I still am. I love that show, and I was quite disappointed.
It's just not the first time. It's been a long list of people that are women that have come forward against this guy. In fact, the reason that he was no longer on that the show The Ranch was because of these allegations.
Yeah, the ranch got basically canceled because of him.
Not really.
Kind of. Not really. They went on, but
yeah. I mean, he just basically left the farm. Which if I was Netflix, there is no way, in the period of time they were dealing with that, I would have been really excited to follow up what happened with Kevin Spacey with this particular scandal. So I mean, it's Hollywood is like the rest of the world. They have problems, and they Hollywood's a little better at covering them up, but this is Hollywood plus the Church of Scientology. So that's a whole different kettle of.
Well, that's the thing.
Fish. Yeah, whole kettle of fish.
These actors are treated like royalty in this church, so they will do whatever they can to protect the face of Scientology. And this idea that this guy, Danny Masterson, is a child actor that did well for himself, but I have this feeling that a lot of these people that grew up in this Hollywood scene with famous friends think they are, untouchable. And now you have the backing of this massive church because you became a big star on that 70s show. A lot of people fall to that seduction of power and really believe they can get away with this stuff. And I think it's sad that because you're a member of a church, you have to go through arbitration, but it is what it is.
Some of these child actors have been through.
I'm just gonna pause you guys for a moment here because Script Doctor has to go. So Script, do you wanna say something about your channel?
About my channel? No, not really. I just want, and if you're listening, please subscribe to the wonderful people on this panel. I was so glad I could be here, but unfortunately, I've just got a notice I have to get on a call in the next 10 minutes. So
Good luck, brother.
So maybe I'll be back for the dump on Scott's channel later, but hopefully it won't go that long. But yeah, I got to head out. But thank you again so much for having me on your hosting debut of Rogue Entertainment.
Thank you so much for coming here.
Take care, Script.
Yeah,
Script.
and
Happy New Year.
have a great rest of your show, and I will catch you all later. Thanks so much for having me.
Good night.
Bye.
Thank you, Script. Take care.
Okay, I'm sorry, Scott. Were you saying something else, or before? Because I interrupted you. I'm sorry. Or was that Steven?
That was me. I was going to say a lot of these child stars also grow up in situations where they went through abuse, and so they grow up thinking that it's just normal to have power and to use that power in that way. And it's sad. It's a sad culture in Hollywood that needs to be broken, which is probably part of probably most of the reason why the Me Too movement began, and because there were situations that needed to be called out. And we just, all of us, no matter where you are, if you're rich, if you're poor, because I mean, this kind of thing happens everywhere. It happens in every class, in every sphere. There's a potential for that kind of thing. So you just gotta, like Jane was saying earlier, you've got to wait for the facts, let these things play out. Hopefully, if the victims feel confident enough to come forward and, present evidence against their aggressors. And we should be behind. We should, no matter what, be behind the victims and, be there to support the people in our community if they go through things like this, because it's awful. It destroys lives all the way around.
It really does. And I don't mean to make fun, but unless you're somebody named Wang, don't go behind people.
Definitely if your name is something like Wang or if your first name is Dick.
So the other thing that we wanted to talk about, which is on our icon for this evening, but I know nothing about because I haven't seen the show, is Cobra Kai season 3. I know some people here are fans.
Cobra Kai.
Well, there you go. Final Death Star. Why don't you take it away? Did you like the
Take
third
the floor,
season?
Final.
I'm only through 4 episodes so far, so I haven't finished it yet. But I'm freaking loving it.
Nice,
I'm loving it. It's done so well. It's fan service, and but it's done in an intelligent way. It continues what season 1 and 2 did by expanding things. It keeps you kind of guessing. It subverts expectations in the right way.
Final, just wait till he gets to Okinawa, brother.
I'm there. I'm already there.
I haven't seen
Yeah.
either, so I'm hoping you guys will keep it like semi-spoiler free because I do want to watch it at some
just the
point.
first couple episodes.
I watched the whole thing, so I don't know how much I can
No, okay.
I'm up to. I saw the first episode of him in Okinawa, so it ended with the big
people are
cliffhanger.
saying, "Is this spoiler talk?"
No, because I haven't watched it all, so I definitely do not want to know.
Here, I could do this without spoiler talk, real easy. Everything that Cobra Kai is, if you are a fan of I grew up with the Karate Kid movies. If you grew up with those movies and you liked those movies, they meant something to you as a child. Then you're going to see this series, seasons 1, 2, and 3, and going into 4. No spoilers. You are going to see something that we should have gotten with Star Trek STD. You're going to see something we should have got with the sequel trilogy. You're going to in Star Wars. You're going to see what every reboot should have done. Cobra Kai, the people that are producing it, have done everything. This show should be a roadmap to anyone trying to restart a franchise, continue off of a franchise, honor the legacy that came before it, honor the material and the characters. That's what Cobra Kai is. It is a continuation of those films in a way that you would have expected. The characters all are continuing on with their faults intact and their virtues intact, just a few decades later. And it also does it in a way that honors what we remember, what we loved as kids, or what you love from the movies, depending on when you saw those movies and if you enjoyed them. Also continues that on so well that as they introduce new characters, new younger characters, and diverse characters without having a virtue signal about it, you get a chance to love those characters because of the decent representation of these legacy characters done by the original actors. They're done so well. Cobra Kai is a 10 out of 10. It does have its issues. I mean, there's a couple parts. I watched all of season 3, and there's a couple parts where you're like, okay, that's a little overblown. That's a little overdone, or that wouldn't happen in reality. But you know what?
I'm okay with that, though. I mean, the end of season 2, which I will say, because I mean, if you haven't watched it, there's a huge fight. Pretty much the
school fight was banging, though.
A fight throughout the school.
Karate riot.
Like a one long shot. Riot. No way that's going to happen. That would have been broken up. But I don't even care. I'm okay with it because it was just so much fun to watch.
It's entertainment.
One out of the show. Yeah, it's entertainment. It's what I want. I want the big all-out brawl. The big brawl at the end.
No, me neither, James.
I think the cops would have been called at that.
A martial arts fight is pretty quick, guys.
It never would have lasted that long throughout the whole school. It was so it wasn't realistic, but I don't care. That's fine.
No. It was great choreography though. That was the last episode of season 2. But I will say, without trying to spoiler free as well, and so well done, author Stephen Hale. The love that these non-traditional father figures, flawed and all, and how they continue to try to be better men and teach whether it's their kids or their adopted trouble students. It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful, and nothing's nothing is right, and they admitted it. It's like, I don't know, but let's find out together. I thought we were the good guys. Some good stuff here, stuff that that it's become so unpopular to praise the male, the father.
That's really good because that's really rare nowadays, and that makes me want to watch the show. But I want to.
Yeah, it shows their vulnerabilities and how they screw up, but in a positive light. Because it is like they are trying to get better. They are trying to learn. They realize that. Yeah, they're real.
They're
right?
real. They're flawed men, but that doesn't mean a flawed man always has to be a bad man. Flawed man could strive to be better, and it's nice to see the surrogate father. I mean, you know, not spoiling, but you have one character's son learning from the other character's, enemy. But yet the understanding that all they want is better life for their kids is the one thing that always brings those two childhood competitive, they hated each other in high school. It brings them back together to try to work together. And, I like how they thread it through. Now, granted, the Ralph Macchio karate scenes is really slow and sad, but the kids, man, those kids, you can believe they're really fighting.
Yeah,
it gets a little better. Ralph gets a little better.
Let me ask you guys something.
This season was better. I thought they used some stunts. You can tell they used the stunt guy, but yeah, the garage scene. I mean, he held his own there.
Oh, puppy.
Mr. Butters jumped on the lap and said, "I love Cobra Kai."
Yeah. I've only been able to see 3 episodes, Mr. Butters it is. Yeah, because I try not to use the old Netflix like Stig's saying. I
was just gonna ask, do you guys think that the Cobra Kai has broken the Netflix boycott?
It has because it is very. I mean, it's what Cobra Kai does is what the Disney sequels to Star Wars couldn't do.
Right.
It is by using the pre-existing characters to introduce the new younger characters without belittling or disgracing the existing characters. They did perfectly in Cobra Kai. Yeah. I think that's why people are like, I know I said I'd boycott it, but God, this is a good show. Like I watch it through a sharing service. My friend, he's from Japan. His name is Online.
Oh,
he helps me out, so I can watch a couple episodes here and there.
Online.
My favorite episode is when Mr. Miyagi comes back after he's been in a Chinese prison for the last 30 years. That's a joke.
We gotta support things when they're done right, or we gotta support directions when, at least, even if something's been done wrong and it's going in a better direction, I believe we need to support that, even if we gotta hold their hands. But with Cobra Kai, you don't have to do that. Everything in the show is being done right.
See, you look at Johnny's character.
I'm sorry, Brian.
You look at Johnny. That's okay. You look at Johnny's character, and he's like, he's portrayed as kind of like a screw up, sort of like a loser. But it's totally different than the way they portray Luke in Last Jedi. They're trying to accomplish the same thing, but with one, it's done with respect. It's funny. They add humor to it, and you see the heart. They gave Johnny heart. And that's what you love about him.
Perfect analogy.
I mean,
Luke has none of that. They just lost everything of who he was.
Progression. That's the important thing too. You understand where Johnny's coming from and how he ended up here.
Mm-hmm.
Luke, it just came out of nowhere.
And you see him trying to get better, him wanting to get better, the desire to be more than what he's been. Because he's got the heart. There's no heart in the character.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, final was, they take it to a next level. Because they not only because we grew up, Danielson, a hero, Johnny Lawrence, the bad guy, the bad jock.
Until that
they reverse it, they flip it. They'll do it within the same episode, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'd also give them a shout out because they poke fun at woke culture too.
Oh yes, they do.
They do.
Oh, that scene with Hawk
in the season, in this season, the bad guys will some of these scenes are in school, and you'll see them being jerks in school. And then when the teacher or whoever comes at them, will be like, you know what? They were invading my safe space.
Right.
Very triggering. The word.
I think we should stop both micro and macroaggressions.
Yes. It's perfectly
So funny.
that terminology against them, showing you that it's actually bullies, people with a bully mentality that use these terms to justify their bullying. And it's great. I love the
It
way
also shows
about the Johnny
life too, because no normal people like use these terms. Like the general population could care less, and you see that in here. There was this one scene with this lady who I guess was on like some sort of committee to address the issues that were happening in the school.
Yeah.
And the way she was talking, it was just so hilarious, but it's realistic because those people do that.
Yeah.
And like, what?
Yeah.
Well, can I say
that same scene? He's like up there, like, when I grew up here at karate, help me against the bullies. I was bullied here. And then someone in the back, that's not what I heard. You were the bully.
Yeah, I know. I thought that too. I was like, I've been saying that for years. I've been saying that for years. You watch those movies. Daniel's the instigator of all the stuff that happens to him.
It makes fun of you. I'm sorry. I'm too excited. This show makes fun of itself. It's such a fun ride because it doesn't take itself seriously, and yet it does. They talk about addiction, and yet they're having fun. They talk about being a deadbeat daddy, and yet it's
fun.
It's like 16-bit mascot says here. Yeah, being flawed but wanting to improve and still be good is an important lesson that they keep removing from modern entertainment, especially for men. And I totally agree with that. And
100%.
I just want to also say hello to Raging Rhino and Fat.
I know.
Raging
Rhino.
In the chat. Steve,
I still love you, Steve.
Thank you for being here, you guys. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. Please smash that like. I love this discussion because I love it when people get so passionate and they want to talk, talk about what they love instead of like the hate that is surrounding.
It's so much more fun to talk about stuff you love.
Exactly.
I will say, I'm sorry, Culture. I will say, as a black belt in jiu-jitsu,
oh shit!
those fights would have gone to the floor in a second. So, but I'll have fun. I'm having fun.
It's a different fighting style. Jiu-jitsu is different fighting than karate or kung fu or everything. The
two best boxers in the world when they had that press conference decades ago, Tyson and the other homeboy, they started fighting. 2 seconds, they went to the floor. Everything goes to the floor.
Right.
Sorry.
Drunk 3PO's loaf of bread says that game theory woman gets my gluten going. Oh my!
Wow. now I regret shipping Jane and
glutes going.
It's not really drunk. It's drunk 3PO's loaf of bread.
Loaf of bread. Yeah.
What's he saying?
Different person.
I do have to say,
Jane's like, I don't know.
I do have to say something about Wayne Chung.
I think he's like you get his blood boiling. It's a compliment.
I hope it has nothing to do with yeast.
It's the glutes working. Talk about his ass.
I was saying that you're making his flower rise.
I'm sorry, cut off Culture. I'm sorry, Culture.
It's okay.
I was just going to say, you're far more passionate, or we all are, when we're talking about the things that we love. And we're far more passionate when we're defending the things that we love. But, and people can see that. It's a form of authenticity. So many of us loved the Karate Kid films, at least the first two, and many people more than that. There were moments that we all shared in those films because we could identify with those characters. In modern filmmaking right now, or at least for the last 5 years in particular, point to a character you identify with. You can't because their life experience is contrived. It's contrived. It's made up out of whole cloth. It doesn't exist in this world, at least not in this country. And so, like I said, there is a difference between entertainment then entertainment now. We can speak passionately about entertainment 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago, right? Even 10, 20, 30 years ago. We can't do it quite the same way now. There are only a handful of projects, shows, movies, pieces of music, even. And I know I know Paulie will agree with me on that. Music lost its soul 10 years ago. I mean, it's hard to find good music.
I think more than that.
We still it's not hard to find it, but you can't look for it in popular music.
No, it doesn't belong mainstream. It's not in mainstream. It's all underground.
It's not on a record label. It's not signed to a record label.
Exactly. No, it's not actually. But what's great about Paulie finds these things. Paulie on his show highlights Nina Diaz and people like that are making good music. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. So there are a lot of very amazing creations out there that we're not exposed to because they aren't being promoted. They're not within the mainstream because they don't send the right message. We're done with your messaging. I mean, that the audience is clearly. I mean, you saw what happened when you removed a tiny little bit, a sliver of messaging with Mandalorian. When you produce 3 seasons of a show so far with Cobra Kai that doesn't have this messaging in it and makes fun of it. I mean, those are the things that are going to eat your lunch. And that's all we have to do is continue to bring these projects forward. So let's promote those things. Cobra Kai, awesome. There's a few other programs and shows out there. Awesome. And despite it's a little bit of messaging that you're going to find in The Expanse, I would have to say, pretty good show. The writing is consistent. The story is good. And if you want to get a little bit woke because you're super preachy, because it's in your DNA for some reason, you got a gender studies degree or something, and there's nothing else you can do with it, then okay. But I just think we are in a unique period of time, the next few years, where we as a group, as a community, everybody out there, everybody on this panel, folks like Nerdrotic and the folks over with Geeks and Gamers, everybody that we know, the people that we're friends with, we can really promote this and make a difference. And that's all I'm asking. And when you support creators like Nina Infinity, when we get her to 1,000 subs and we get her monetized, you're adding another voice to this fire, because we started off with the sparks and embers of what was a burning pop culture. You know, we were watching the destruction of Luke Skywalker. We were watching the destruction of the things that we love. And right now there is an inferno potential. We really are reaching towards, an uncontrollable fire that they won't be able to put out, but it does take hard work. And the work, like Gary and Tom and several other folks in the Fandom Menace have said, it takes hard work. We can't stop. We have to be unrelenting, just like they have been for the last 5 or 6 years at poisoning us with this stuff. So anyway, there it is. I've said my piece. I'll climb off my soapbox.
Well said, Culture. Well said.
What's up?
Checks in the mail, Culture. Thank you so much.
I wanted to say, checks in the mail.
No, tacos. I owe him tacos. I actually owe him tacos. Sorry.
Empanadas. One thing I have to say about the beauty. All right, so season 1, Cobra Kai, when I first watched it, what I really enjoyed was that even though, again, they were making fun of it, Johnny being such an 80s classic guy where he doesn't understand the,
internet
SJW world we're in, where he pretty much was teaching these kids not to be wusses, not to hide behind all these terms that they've created for them. And even though they did it in a funny way, they actually did it in a really serious way too. Like, boys need to be boys, and not in a bad way, getting away with things, but there is nothing wrong with a young man being a man. Holding a door for somebody. Sorry, don't get mad at me. I'm going to do it.
It's called chivalry.
It's not even a chivalry.
It's called being.
You can't cap a 12-year-old's testosterone now that it's starting to kick in, or a 15-year-old when he's playing sports. They're going to be a little more aggressive at times. Certain males will, and the idea of focusing that energy into something positive like karate, and also allowing them to be themselves. You see the good and the bad of both. You see the kid Hawk, who went down the wrong path, but then you see Diego, I think that's his name. He goes down the right path. You know what I mean? So it shows both sides of it.
Miguel Diaz.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I am as invested in the new characters as I am in the old characters too. I mean, they've done such a good job. Like in each one, of them, I'm invested. You know, the guys, the girls. They're done so well and compelling.
They are, and like I'm not going to give any spoilers away, but one of my favorite characters in the story was Robbie.
Yeah.
And to see the trajectory he takes, guys. I know you haven't seen the whole thing. I can't wait to hear what you think.
I can't wait to get
What were you gonna say?
No, I was just saying I like. I mean, you talk about Hawk, but he could have gone either way. I mean, this kid was really insecure, and he lacked confidence. Now he just needs sort of boundaries to pull him back in a little bit.
Oh, guys, wait! I can't say anything. I can't say anything.
He's gone off the rails. He's going off the rails.
I get that. I get that. But what I'm saying is, he could have gone down a different path and maybe taken his own life or things like that. So, he has been improved a lot as well. He just went too far.
Oh yeah, I love it.
When you all are done watching this season, guys, we're gonna get together. I don't care if we just make a live stream for this. All right, and then we're gonna talk about it because this I can't say nothing.
Let's set a date. Let's do it next week.
Can I say something to what Scott was saying? What it sounds like is that Cobra Kai, it shows both sides of masculinity without ever demonizing it.
Yep. I mean, you have Daniel showing one size and Johnny.
Wait, what do you mean by both sides of masculinity?
Well, it's like what I mean is the stuff that people complain about when it's like toxic masculinity and such like that, and the people that they try to destroy masculinity because that's what we see nowadays. Is like it shows it sounds like what the show does is shows every side of what it means to be a masculine. It means to be masculine, what it means to be a man, what it means to be a boy, but it never once demonizes it.
Right.
No, you have Daniel's side of it where it's more of a masculine way of control. His masculinity. Defense.
Yeah, how you be controlled about it. Yeah,
controlling about it and being thoughtful to others. Johnny's is more of a strike first masculinity where you don't put up with anybody's shit and but still show respect. And when time a kid listened to him and I won't go there.
Eagle Fang.
Well, obviously, you saw the whole season, Steven. So, but and I'll spoiler on episode 2. Is that allowed, Nina?
Sure. Just be
episode
mindful.
2 spoiler.
Okay. Not so much a spoiler. Then
plug your ears in the chat if you don't want to hear it.
I'll keep it spoiler free. What we're gonna see increases story.
Oh, right.
Just what you said, Makini, about about the masculinity, about toxic and not toxic, liked and not liked, evil and liked. I mean, it's a complex character. Kreese becomes a complex character.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
and
you never thought could happen.
No, right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm digging what they're doing with him a lot.
I like when villains become like they're more complicated, like they're just there's a gray thing there. Like it's not like they're just like so,
It's not always black and white. There's always
what we were hoping Moff Gideon to be.
Right.
I'm not going to give it away. What I'm going to say is that while you're learning about Kreese's backstory, one of the people around him during that backstory is somebody that we have seen before.
Oh, I kind of already have an idea where they're headed with it.
Yeah.
I've got a pretty good idea where they're headed with that.
I want to do a nerd alert plug. I got nerd crazy because my friend is in episode 1.
What?
Oh, really?
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So check this out, you guys. All right, this is a spoiler. It's the first scene of the show where Johnny's getting drunk, or he's drunk at the bar, and he accosts these 2 Latino guys.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, one of my boys, Bobby Hernandez, is the second guy who gets his licks in and beats up Johnny Lawrence.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
I text him, guys, and I'm like, where was this filmed? Because I know you live in Atlanta. He's like, the whole show is filmed in Atlanta.
Oh, wow.
That makes sense.
Are you going to have him on your show?
I'm going to have him on my show, Jane. Yes.
Nice.
Well, maybe we could save it for I don't know, but he's also going to be in WandaVision. So I'm like, Bobby, you're killing it. He's a stunt actor. He looks like too. What's up?
They're filming that in Atlanta too?
They already did. Yeah.
Oh wow, Atlanta's getting a lot of action.
Dude, a lot of things get filled. Oh no, it's been for years since
he moved to
The
Atlanta a
Walking
few
Dead
years
started
ago.
there.
But
Yeah.
to see a buddy on Cobra Kai, oh my god,
Nina go. Yeah, that's awesome, Paulie. That is so cool.
Awesome.
You can't dip
That
out of
is
your own
so
show. But
yeah.
Like I've
But-
seen buddies
That
on
is back
film,
better,
but
bro.
it's usually like the the news,
America's Most
local
Wanted.
news, roundup type stuff.
America's Most Wanted.
Yeah, like George
Not-
is
like Most Wanted.
yeah, like George is like a big hotbed for filming now. It's a really
Well, they give a lot of tax breaks, and it also
has
could
been.
be the
Oh,
weather's good there.
Louisiana
Excuse me.
tried
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
And Fear of the Walking Dead went back to Austin. It used to be in Georgia. You know, The Walking Dead's been in Georgia for a decade now.
Since it started.
I was trying to close tabs and I accidentally
Oh.
closed the StreamYard.
We were bummed out, man.
Whoops.
That Steven Seagal said you get an F. Nina, you get an
yeah,
F.
I had so many tabs open. It's because you were talking about how like it's finished filming in Atlanta, and I remember that was another thing that we were going to talk about. Though it's getting calling late. What time is your show at, Scott?
9:30.
So
everybody in the chat, make sure you're subscribed to Sporky News because you'll see a lot of these faces.
Yeah,
That
we were
could
going
be
to
a positive
talk
or
about
a
how
negative.
a lot of the LA TV shows and stuff like that have been halted because of the COOF situation.
Yeah.
So there's like a lot more delays. Oh my god, I can't. Makini, do you have the article?
Let me check the private chat.
Oh, here it is. I got it, I think. It's just I don't know why Twitter does this now. It's like it skips on you when you try to get the article. Like all of a sudden it jumps. I'm like, I don't understand why it does this now.
Which one is it? Where is it from?
It's the Hollywood Reporter one.
Hollywood Reporter.
Hollywood Reporter.
We've got Variety.
Hollywood Reporter.
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
You got the Hollywood Reporter one? Oh, okay. Just making sure.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I found it. Okay.
Scott, what the hell are you making?
If you want, I can. Oh, never mind.
Make myself laugh.
Jesus
I'm so
Christ.
funny to myself.
You're such a narcissist laughing at your own joke.
Oh my god, you wouldn't know.
I heard a really interesting vibrating sound a minute ago. I'm kind of concerned.
Oh shoot, am I on? That's me. That's me.
Or the puppy.
Okay, Mrs. Slant took the puppy and she started the laundry. The Slant Studios.
Yeah.
The Slant Studios are connected. It's Slant Studios in the laundry room. Yes.
Well,
It's fine. It just was really funny. I'm like, that doesn't sound great. I'm worried about something.
No, it's the washer. I know it sounds awful. Sorry.
We're in spin cycle. You're okay. Don't worry.
It was like one of those singing pickles or something. I don't know.
It just it reminded me of this because you said that they've finished filming in Atlanta, and it's one of those things where like we don't know what's going to happen in the next couple of years because a lot of stuff is getting delayed. So Disney, Warner Bros., Universal joined CBS in delaying LA TV production return. On Tuesday, CBS Studio announced production on NCIS Los Angeles, and Steel Team, all broadcast by CBS, as well as CBS All Access's Why Women Kill and Disney Plus's Diary of Future President, and had been scheduled to return to production on January 4th after the holiday break. All 5 shows will now resume on January 11th. But that's not a big delay. They're making it sound like it's a lot.
It's not too much
Well,
of
they
a
might
delay.
keep pushing it. They may
That's
keep
true.
pushing.
Mm-hmm.
It's California, and maybe you guys from California could speak on this. They know that they're on the hot seat with when Disney world speaks out against them, when large corporations now are speaking out against the government in California. I think they feel pressure to open certain things back up, but yet still kind of keep pushing the date on them.
Yeah. So everybody knows about the situation with when Gavin Newsom basically shut down all the parks for this year, including Disneyland. and that was that was the thing.
What a wang.
That was the thing that kind of drove Disney up a wall. So.
Oh God, my blood is boiling when you mention that name. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, final. Sorry, Paulie. I know my bloods in my head.
I mean, we just heard that he just extended it another 3 weeks
indefinitely.
Oh, come
He
on.
extended his wang? What?
He used the word indefinitely at some point. Yeah, he's not a good guy. I mean,
it's not.
But don't worry, that $600 will get you guys through the next 6 months.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, do what
Thank
King
God I
Crow
can work.
says, guys. Just saying.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, what a good dude. King Crow,
Where's the
thank
cricket?
you. But
Where's the cricket sounds? I need a
Well, you
cricket.
could have read it. We were like, we.
yeah,
but you made us have to read.
Around. If you have
that.
time, peeps, this is a great channel. It really should get more views. It really should.
There you go. No
Thank you.
crickets.
It's spelled SPORKING. It's not sporting news. It's sporking. Thank you. That was really sweet of you. God, what a fucking
But yeah, so there's other shows. One of my really I really like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and I was interested to see how they're gonna actually do this year. What is that sound?
Oh,
What is that?
What is that?
Sorry, I was wiping my camera.
Who's
I was
touching
wiping
their
my
wang?
camera. No, that was me wiping my camera.
Oh my God!
Oh my God! Stop it!
What the hell?
Jesus Christ!
Now I know how to piss you guys off even more.
Because of you.
It's like he was saying sexist.
Scott's
Wow, where's your
production
mind
value
going?
is so high.
Yeah, well,
Any
get me a
questions?
processor that I can actually order.
I looked up the stupid processor. You can drop it. That's an AM4. You can drop that chip in there and you'll be fine.
Right into
I
the
just had to make
motherboard?
sure.
Okay.
Oh my God! Nerd talk.
God, look.
Alert, nerd, alert.
I would get a better motherboard if I'm going to invest more money in a processor, but that's just me.
Well, then let me know what motherboard I should get.
Okay.
God.
My goodness.
You get free help from people. That's the type of help you get.
No.
Guys, stop trying to compare wangs.
Happy New Year, spork.
It's the best.
Wow,
I
man.
love culture, your hair looks amazing today. I love you.
Hey, Keck.
Keck.
Hey, Keck.
All I wanted to say was that I really like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and I was excited to see where they were going to go with it this year because of all the Antifa stuff and we don't like the police kind of thing, and and now it's all getting delayed. Everything is getting delayed. Like so many things are getting delayed. So,
Hey, Nina, can I ask you
The
this?
little experience that I go ahead, Makini. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, is Terry Crews still on Brooklyn Nine-Nine after?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
yeah, they're all
Well,
there.
Hollywood's been getting a lot of heat for the fact that they've gotten to stay open while restaurants have closed, and it's just a lot of businesses they've forced to shut. But Hollywood seems to get this passed. So I do wonder if it's sort of a move to try to take the heat off Hollywood. Say, all right, let's shut them down too for a little bit. So
I was wondering that too.
They don't have to, though. So right now, production facilities are being expanded across the country in multiple regions. Florida, Atlanta. I mean, I'm just saying the Georgia area right now is growing. They're going to add another. They're going to add another 8 to 9 buildings for production there in what used to be Pinewood Studios and is now Trilith, the video that I did a few weeks ago. But the expansion for Disney and several other companies in Florida is for real. That's actually going on. Ground is broken on many of those buildings. Those things go up super fast. You would think a soundstage would take a really long time. The outside of the building, no, the shell goes up really fast. It's the new interiors they're putting inside of those. That's the difference. So someday we'll all talk about that. But
this was a great comment. Brooklyn Nine-Nine got defunded. I love
it.
That.
It was very smart and funny. And now I'm out of my flow of talking. So I'm going to I'm going back.
Wow, he's so
sensitive.
Wow.
Deep.
Go put on a tampon, dude.
You know, wacky and stuff.
From my limited knowledge on this, Mrs. Slant is an actor in the business, and she's gone back to work. There's just major. They take major precautions. So if one person gets positive, they'll shut everything down for a couple of weeks.
That's why Tom Cruise was blowing his lid, because the whole thing will get shut down if you're.
And that's hundreds of jobs.
Yeah.
Hundreds of jobs.
I think Tom Cruise was in his right to say what he said.
On the theater level, they've gotten creative, and they've and this is like, I'm talking like Broadway level across the nation. They're filming stage readings and editing them with music. Then they put them up for free online. Mrs. Slant has been a part of a couple of those. She's going to film another one. So they're trying, on different levels to and it hires people. Everything hires people. So.
Well, that's the thing too. People need to be able to adapt to situations. I hate when we find ourselves in, even if you don't like the situation we're in, it's like we should never be vulnerable to anything. We should always be able to adapt. That's the only way we can survive, whether it's something that is political in nature or whether it's not, whether it's something we can control or whether we can't. We should always be thinking constantly and being creative about how we can get ourselves through any situation. You just have to, or you'll fall behind.
I absolutely agree with you. And before we end the show, I just want to add on a funny / positive note, which is this thing here. We won't go through the whole thing, but everybody should check this out if you're a fan of The Office, which you guys know I am, because The Office is awesome. So NBC's Peacock streaming service reveals never before seen cold open of The Office, Not a Drill. And it was really funny. It was great. Like, it was a really cool scene. They have it on this website here. And I definitely recommend everyone checking it out if you haven't. It was really fun. Because
so much. Happy New Year, Nina, and everyone on the panel, the chat. Thank you guys so much. I had a lot of fun. I'm excited. I booked my first guest this Tuesday night, 5 p.m. Mrs. Slant, Romy Diaz is going to be my first guest of the year. Mrs. Slant, we're going to talk about women in film. We're going to talk about her career, and it was very tough to negotiate, but I got her on the show.
Nice. Very tough to negotiate, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody subscribe to Polly. If Makini's dropping the links in the chat. Thank you so much, Makini.
No problem.
And
mango, dude.
Gonna move to the beautiful Maine of Culture Casino.
Hey everybody, hi. I have a small YouTube channel, Culture Casino. I make videos. I enjoy making them. I want to grow. I'd like to be a bigger channel, but hey, for now, I'm having so much fun. I get to hang out with amazing people like I'm doing tonight on Nina Infinity's channel, who, if you're not already subscribed and you're here, just hit the button. It's free. It says subscribe, and that's it. Yay! It's no pain, no fuss, no muss. It's all good to go. Also, I'm getting a rare opportunity to hang out over at Orville Nation this week. We're doing. I'm actually going to be on a dark matter panel.
You are? That's on Monday. You're going to be on the panel with me?
Yeah, for episode 2. Episode 2.
LPJ.
That's right. Episode 2 of season 2. Is that right?
Well, we're doing episode 1 next week.
Oh, episode 1. Excuse me.
Monday. This Monday.
Or I'm either this Monday or next Monday. I don't remember which, but it doesn't matter. I'm playing catch up and reminding myself of the show. So, I'm kind of excited. I get to hang out with PJ and whoever is there. It's going to be
Joseph
cool.
Malossi is going to be there. He's the creator of the show.
That's awesome.
And also Stargate.
It's a cool show.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
Very cool.
it's interesting. I of course, look at things with a critical eye. So I have my criticisms, but there's been a lot of enjoyment on my part. So I want to thank PJ for that opportunity. I want to thank Paulie in advance for my next appearance on Latino Slant channel. I've been trying to get back on there since he had me and threw me out. And
threw you out.
Yeah, well, it was either me or it was that other Mad Mardigan. It was one or the other of us, and one of us.
Oh, it was probably Mad because that guy's a troublemaker.
Anyway, I'm just kidding. Check out Mad Mardigan stuff too, guys. We have an amazing community of incredible.
We're all over the place right now, boy.
I'm having a good time.
My God,
His outros are traditionally 5 to 10 minutes.
What is wrong with that? I'm promoting everyone.
I love it.
I'm not promoting me. In just a few moments, I'm gonna tiptoe over to the other studio and hang out with Sporking News Podcast on what I love is such an amazing show called The Dump. Yeah, The Dump is such a wonderful show with a great host that if he doesn't talk, it's incredible.
3 hours later.
Yeah, he'll say something, and then it's he
doesn't talk. It's incredible.
Yeah, it is. They're amazing shows. If his computer is broken, they're ridiculous. And you know what? He has everybody else read articles for him. So just pay attention to that. That is quality entertainment right there. See that? That is the production value you get from Sporking.
Disney's new Pinocchio right there.
Yeah. And then there's this new guy, Ido Faku Ladimatis or whatever. He's like one of our new people.
What?
Etep Wadadushian.
No Wadadushian.
Did you just call him Wadadushy?
No. Etep is freaking awesome. I love Etep.
I didn't know we could plug other people's channels, Nina. I want to plug Yeti Cast.
Yeah, dude, I plugged Yeti Cast.
I love Yeti Cast.
I love Yeti Cast. Yeah, I plugged Yeti Cast. And hey, after Anna plugged him, I made a little clip and sent it out for everybody to enjoy on Twitter. I have love for our people.
This is why I gave it a half an hour for the closings, because I knew that once culture.
Mine was pretty quick.
I love you, culture. We love you, man.
Beyond a shadow of a doubt, just make sure you subscribe to everybody on the panel, because I love each and every one of these people, especially Jane Theory, who had a really cool live stream this morning. Jane, I hope you do more of those. That was really awesome.
Thank you.
Well, speaking of Jane Theory, why don't you tell us where we can find you, girl?
Another culture segue. Perfect.
There you go. Perfect.
You can find me here on YouTube, where I post movie and television reviews and pop culture commentary. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram and Parler at Jane Theory.
That's how you do it.
That's it. That's
how you
was
do
so
it.
short and sweet. Oh my God.
So wait. I have one more question because of what Jane Theory just said. So Jane Theory can say that she's allowed to be on Parler, but the rest of us have to denounce something
because
or
I
another?
pointed out that she's black, so she doesn't have to clarify that she denounced white supremacy.
I get a pass.
She gets a pass.
See, I think that's kind of prejudice.
Automatic Parler cred.
Lorena gave me a pass too. She said that you can say that your friends are black or something, and she gave me a pass card.
Wait a minute.
Oh, that's the word.
Wait a minute. I get a card. There's a card you can have?
Yeah, Lorena said I can have one. So
Your blood
I was like,
has to give you one though.
Some of my best friends are white.
Yeah.
Lorena gave me one. So, and I think I have one from Jane. So I think I'm good.
See, and all you have to be, that's the problem in life. If you look white, everybody thinks you're white.
That's true. Even when you have curly hair, everybody thinks you're white.
It's terrible. I see when they say burden, I understand now.
Well, I thought Jane was just, I didn't know Jane was black. I thought she was a cartoon.
My cartoon is also black.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
She wanted to be able to see herself in her own avatar.
Yeah.
I kind of miss her hat.
I just want to take a moment to say hello to my fellow queen, OG Star Wars. Who is
Laura.
Thank you for being here and supporting me.
Awesome.
OG Wait, who left?
Someone just dropped out. Culture? No, he's here.
It was
Culture
it's
said,
Pauly.
"Go
Pauly
F
left.
yourselves."
Oh, Pauly disconnected.
I'm right next to you. Your computer really sucks, Scott.
Where
can't,
are
like-
you?
Oh,
That was my
geez.
bad.
All I hear is whining. I can't.
I just wanted
Oh,
to quickly, since Culture is plugging everyone's channel, say OG Star Wars is a great channel for Star Wars lore. If you like Star Wars lore, please go to OG Star Wars' channel and hit that subscribe button. And on that note, we will move on to Final Death Star, who has a new channel as well.
It's the same channel. Don't lie, Final.
It is the same channel. I'm
That's
not
what I
saying
thought.
that. It's
Okay.
the same
Different
channel.
name.
I just a different name.
Rebranded.
Repackaged. Same great
Yeah,
content.
well, you're same old Final.
Same old Final. Yeah, the good comfort food, the go-to for all your paranormal, UFO, biblical prophecy, strange mysteries, hidden histories of the world. I denounce Asian supremacy. Wow. Time Prophet. Has
Time Prophet has no
2021 denounced anything yet? Has 2021 denounced white supremacy?
No.
It denounced 2020.
Denounced 2020. Yeah.
It denounced 2020?
Yep.
Oh, that's a
Haven't you heard?
I denounce bad hair care products.
Yeah.
I denounce hair.
What the heck is Kex talking about?
I
over here?
denounce-
Almost had a Jane reveal on Park Hoppin'. What?
Oh yeah, she was hanging with Mr. 3PO. I now call him Mr. 3PO. I mean,
Wow,
you know, you
Jane's
have
voice has gotten deeper
Did
and
you-
wider.
Did you get the piggyback from Drunk 3PO that Culture did not?
Oh wow, that's a good question,
Oh
Jane.
my.
Jane, answer the question.
Did you get
Jane.
the piggyback?
Did you?
No.
Anyone like my hat?
What?
Dude, I love your hat.
Thank you. I put my hat on for Nina.
You are really
Thank you.
classy. Look how classy he is.
I can't see him.
I don't know about any
like
of
that,
anyone getting a piggyback on. Okay.
Apparently, no one is.
If I meet any of you guys, I'll give you piggybacks.
He's a tease. You're not getting a piggyback.
Yeah, 3PO's a tease. I'll give piggybacks.
Jane, is he as tall as everybody says he is?
Huh?
Is he as tall as everyone says he is?
Yes.
He's very tall.
He's a Sasquatch.
Yeah, exactly. It's like hanging out with a Yeti. Speaking of Yeti cats, Jay's big dude, man. He could lift 4 of me. That's big.
He's what,
Yeah.
6'4"?
It was awesome, though, 'cause it was like being with
I
somebody
would love a
no one's
picture.
gonna bother at
I
all.
think he's doesn't like me anymore.
He
Wait,
likes you.
no, he
doesn't
loves
like
you.
any of us.
He loves
The
you.
truth
He
is, he
loves
doesn't like any of us.
Yeah, well, I did those Spanish
beats
words of the
us.
day. I feel bad now.
No,
you.
keep
Speak for
doing it. No.
yourself, Scott.
Keep doing it. He loves that. He wants.
No,
he
he
wants.
loves that.
He wants an Oral Mango T-shirt.
And also, Scott, speak for yourself because Drunk 3PO loves me. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Well,
He's talking
because
about the guys.
I think.
What?
I think. Wow. Well,
Jane, what'd you say?
he does tend to have a lot of female representation on his channel. I'm just saying.
What was that, Jane?
He doesn't put out.
Say that again.
Back.
I didn't say anything.
Can we close this thing? It's been 25.
No, Scott, because freaking Culture Casino took everyone's time, and Final Death Star barely got to get.
No, he
words
already
out.
promoted himself.
was-
He's got
yeah, I was
some.
done.
He does a bunch of alien junk. Just go.
Okay,
go
so we're
watch.
done? All right then, Makini, go.
Good afternoon, good evening, good night, everyone. We thank you all for stopping by. I am Makini90. I'm practically a nobody compared to all these wonderful people. But
Oh, not
if
true.
you guys,
The modesty on this guy.
but
I mean,
you
you're
guys
not
can-
at my level. Yeah, you're close.
You know what,
But-
Makini, did you redrew the Abomination from the end of 2020? Didn't you?
Yes,
Yeah.
I did.
I don't know.
No.
Oh,
Did,
No.
did
I
you
don't know
have
why.
that? Do you have that in avatar form?
Let me check.
oh, here we go.
While you're doing
Go
that,
ahead, and I'll
Scott,
just
why
save
don't
me
you
for
plug
last.
your beautiful channel that we're all going on next, pretty much?
Yeah, I guess there's people in this chat that I haven't seen. So if you guys want to come to my channel next at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the dump, or as Drunk 3PO calls it, the poop, I'm drunk. Please come by. We'll be talking about somewhat the same type of crap and just BSing with each other.
That's
and
why you call it the dump. That's why they call it the dump. It's
Well,
I do.
And he wonders why he doesn't go up in sub count.
Our wangs.
Look, I haven't gone up since sub count since August 12th of last year. So thank you, everybody.
I'm actually trying to go up in sub count. So please subscribe to
Yeah.
me. Thank you so much. And we have
thanks for taking my thunder.
There it is.
Wow.
Hey,
that's way
everybody.
better looking than that thing.
Yeah. Wow.
That was nice.
Thank you. Hey everyone, my name is Machni90.
He's
I am
back.
A very like compared to all these great channels, I'm practically just a little guy looking up to them. So, but you guys can find me on my YouTube channel where I do weekly draw streams every Wednesday and Sunday at 12:30 a.m. Pacific, and I do time lapses, short morning time lapses every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific. I will Machini Live return, so I will be back with Mads Mama Bear, Bruce Lombardo, and M. Dasherly, and our guest will be Etep Wakulian of the Place of Reviews, and hopefully 24/7 Fusion Media, as we do a redraw of Javicia Leslie's Batwoman for the celebration of Batwoman season 2. I did a morning draw stream where we talked about the hoopla surrounding indie game called Sensex Cyberpunk Ghost Story. Hope you guys can check that out. But other than that, subscribe to these great people. But if you guys are interested in my content, definitely hit that subscribe button. I am really going to be focusing on producing a lot of content for the channel. My goal this year is to get to 1,000 subs before December 31st.
Nice.
Great job, buddy.
That's a while away, so I'm sure that you will. And last, certainly.
And I got great people like Nina, Culture, and Sporking already backing me up.
Always backing you, buddy.
Heck yeah. And
16-bit mascot is correct, though. I think he just taught me something. Do the thumbnails say the dump really big? Maybe he doesn't invite. Well, I think he means chicks, but that's funny. He's so right. It's all the dump.
A lot of wangs hanging out there, though.
None of us would be here without the wonderfulness of this man right here, author Stephen Walton. Tell us where we can find you.
Hi, guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. Hope you had a great holidays. Hope this year's going to be better for everybody else than the last one was. Thank you guys so much for coming. Good job, Nina.
Wait. I need a timeout, Steven. No. Put him back on the screen. Put him back on the screen. Look at that hair.
He's so good looking,
dude. Handsome.
Someone
blowing off to the
side.
Yeah,
hold on.
You got that wave. You got that little wave going.
He does, man. He doesn't look like a hobo.
Let me sing to you.
What have you been
To all the girls I've loved before.
I've not been using aggressive wangs, and it's worked.
We're traveling it out on
I'm glad they came along. I dedicate this song to all the girls I loved before.
No.
Look at that.
Thank you guys so much for being here. Please subscribe to everybody on this awesome panel.
Steven, do your thing.
Have a great new year, everybody. Wash your hands, wash your ass. Beware for wangs with pills. Be good to each other. Peace.
Wangs with pills are dangerous.
And with that, thank you so much, chat. You guys have been so great and amazing. We love you so much. And we out.